everything we see that told Christ that it was his time to be crucified in Jerusalem when he said during the time of the transfiguration, and he spoke to Moses and Elijah in the transfiguration. The two that, let's get it. Let's get Revelations 11. Let me type this so that you can get this first. Y'all see that? There will not be two guys prophesying in Jerusalem and die and wake up 3 days later. That will not happen. Okay? That's Christian dogma. Something else to make you look forward to the future. You understand? They're trying to keep you still and say, well, okay, this didn't happen yet. They put all these things out there to make you think, to make you wait for prophecy. And it's not so. Let me tell you, there will not be two prophets popping up prophesying in Jerusalem. Go to Revelations 11.
Revelations chapter 11, verse 1.
No, let's get straight to it.
Verse 3. And I will give power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,264 days.
You got to start from the first verse.
Verse 1. And there was given me a rod like unto a reed.
A reed like unto a rod.
A reed like unto a rod. And the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of the Most High, and the altar, and them that worship therein.
So the Most High says, go, rise, measure the temple of the Most High, and the measure of the temple of the Most High, and the altar, and them that worship therein. Now, if you want to understand this chapter, you must first understand the first verse. This gives you the answer. The first verse. You must measure the temple. All right? Stick with me here, because Revelations 11 will be our reference point. Hold that and go to 1 Corinthians 3 and 16.
First Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16.
Read it.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High?
We are the temple of the Most High. Read.
And that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you.
And that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you. So now we understand that the temple of the Most High resides in man. Go back to Revelations 11.
Revelations chapter 11, verse 1.
So mind you, Paul was writing this to the church of Corinth because these were followers of Christ who are now part of Christ's body. They are the temple, and the Most High dwell in them. Read 11 and 1 again.
Revelations chapter 11, verse 1. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod. And the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of the Most High, and the altar, and them that worship therein.
So now, the angel is coming out to measure the temple of the Most High, those that are following Christ, that are marked for this new kingdom. This is the new temple that's being built. Everyone is trying to point to something being built in Jerusalem when the temple of God had been getting built since Christ's crucifixion. Now, he's measuring this temple. Hold that and go to Revelation 7. with Revelations 11 as our reference point. Read.
Revelations chapter 7 verse 1. And after these things I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor the sea, nor any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads.
Until we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. Read.
Verse 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed.
And they were sealed what?
And there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
And there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. 12,000 from each tribe. Judah, Benjamin, Levi. So this is not just one tribe. This is all the tribes when you read it down. So the seal must be on these before the destruction. Go back to Revelations 11. So now we understand who will get sealed. 12,000 from each tribe before the destruction. Revelations 11 and 1 is a reference point. Read it.
Revelations chapter 11 verse 1. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood saying, Rise and measure the temple of the Most High, and the altar, and them that worship therein.
And them that worship therein. Go, hold that and get Zechariah 2 and 1. With Revelations 11 and 1 as the reference point. So in order for us to understand these prophets, we must first understand the context of the first verse. If you don't, you will totally get deceived. Zechariah 2 and 1, read it.
Zechariah chapter 2 verse 1. I lifted up my eyes again, and looked, and behold, a man with a measuring line in his hand.
We're going to get to this line in the street, but we give you the context first and bring it all the way down for you. Read. Read it again.
Zechariah chapter 2 verse 1. And I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a man with a measuring line in his hand.
A man with a measuring line in his hand. Read.
Then said I, Whither goest thou? And he said unto me, To measure Jerusalem.
To measure who?
To measure Jerusalem.
To measure Jerusalem. Read.
To see what is the breadth thereof, and what is the length thereof.
I'm going to see who's the breadth thereof and the length thereof. You're going to find out this breadth and length is the height and width of that kingdom or that temple and kingdom we read of in Revelations 21. 144,000 cubits. Read.
Verse 3. And behold, the angel that talked with me went forth, and another angel went out to meet him, and said unto him, Run, speak to this young man.
Speak to this young man. So when they're sealed, what will they need to understand? Read.
Saying, Jerusalem shall be inhabited as towns without walls.
Jerusalem shall be inhabited as towns without walls. They must go in a place together. Towns without walls. Read.
For the multitude of men and cattle therein. For I, saith the Most High, will be unto her a wall of fire round about.
Go ahead.
And will be the glory in the midst of her.
And will be the glory in the midst of her. Go back there. Revelations 11 and 1. Go ahead.
Revelations chapter 11 verse 1. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood saying, Rise and measure the temple of the Most High, and the altar, and them that worship therein.
So he's sending an angel to measure the 144,000, 12,000 from each tribe. Read.
Verse 2. But the court which is without.
That means the people that's outside of the 144,000, read.
Leave out.
Leave out. Don't measure it. Read.
And measure it not.
And measure it not. Read.
For it is given unto the Gentiles.
For it is given unto the Gentiles. So the Gentile nations are not being measured as a governor of one of the 144,000. I hope you're following me here. Just like the temple that was made in the Old Testament. The Israelites went into the temple, and the Gentiles got blessings, but they stayed on the outer courts of the temple. They're not to be measured to go into the temple. Read.
For it is given unto the Gentiles.
Listen to this clearly. Read.
And the holy city shall tread underfoot 42 months.
So what holy city and what people of the holy city was tread underfoot 42 months? The children of Israel. Hold that. And let's go to the book of Luke. Luke 21 and start at 19.
St. Luke chapter 21 verse 19.
Do it 20.
Verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies.
When you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, read.
Then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
Then know that the desolation is nigh. Now mind you, I'm reading here in Revelations 11 and 2. For it is given unto the Gentiles, in the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months. That 42 months breaks down to 3.5 days. Okay? 3.5 days. When you look at that 42 months, it breaks down to the 1,203 score. You take 360 lunar days and divide it into 1,260, and it will give you 3.5 days. That's a time period in which the Gentiles would rule in the earth and take that, starting from the time they took down Jerusalem. Read that again.
St. Luke chapter 21 verse 20.
Go ahead.
And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
Know that the desolation is nigh. What desolation? Jerusalem being sacked by the Romans, 70 AD. Read.
Verse 21. Then let them which are in Judea.
Then let them which are in Judea do what?
Flee to the mountains.
Flee to the mountains. So the Israelites fled out into Africa. And eventually they were founded by the serpent, like it says in Revelation 12, and it was trodden underfoot for a particular time. Read.
And let them which are in the midst of it depart out.
Go ahead.
And let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto.
Go ahead.
For these be the days of vengeance.
These be the days of vengeance. Read.
That all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child.
Go down to the last verse.
Verse 24.
Read it.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword.
The Israelites fell by the edge of the sword. Read.
And shall be led away captive into all nations.
Shall be what?
And shall be led away captive into all nations.
Shall be led away captive into all nations. That's the children of Israel being treaded underfoot. Go back to Revelations 11. Go ahead, finish reading.
And Jerusalem shall be trodden down.
Jerusalem shall be trodden down until when?
Of the Gentiles.
Hold up. They shall be treaded down of the Gentiles.
Until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
Until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Again, Revelations 11 and 3 and 2. For it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months. That 42 months are what the Bible calls the time of the Gentiles. Israel is not in their holy land. That 3.5 days or 1,203 score days is the time